सबकी विरासत हो जो तुमसे पहले लड़ते आए हैं।
दुनिया को दिखा दूंगा कि मैं कौन हूं। बेटा, 10 रिंग्स की आर्मी में शामिल हो जाओ। आ रहा है मार्वल का नया हीरो। मेरा नाम है शांग-ची।
तुम काफी ऑसम हो यार।
थैंक यू।
Marvel Studios' Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Hey everyone, I am joined by the stars and director of Marvel Studios' Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Hey everyone. All right, let's get started. So, what is important to your characters at the beginning of the film?
When we're introduced to the adult version of Shang-Chi in the movie, first of all, he's going by Sean. He's parking cars at the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco along with his best friend Katie. There's a sense that he's kind of like a little directionless in life.
Shang-Chi is a young man who has been running from the pain that he really doesn't want to deal with. And I think he hides it and covers it up with his charm and humor. In the end of our first act of our movie, all of that kind of gets exposed.
Well, at the beginning of the film, I think the good times are very important to Katie, but I think that, that's telling of something a little bit deeper, which is that she doesn't really know what she's supposed to be doing right now.
Xialing, she is so complex. She has the tough and unapproachable exterior, but she also has the sensitive and vulnerable part inside of her. She's like a flower which can survive the coldest winter.
To accomplish the mission that his leader and also stepfather Wen Wu gave him. So everything that he does is to try to prove himself to him and make him proud.
Well, this might be tough, but if you had to describe your character in one word, what would it be?
Self-discovery.
Blind trust.
Ooh, heartfelt.
Ah, very good answers. Now, there is some amazing action in this film, so what was your favorite stunt to film?
One of my favorite stunts that I did was like falling backwards off a pole. It felt like a ride, like one of those slingshot rides where hopefully a bird doesn't come.
Towards the end of the bus sequence, there's a scene where Shang-Chi is basically on my back, pushing with his feet on the wall, pushing me down. That whole sequence, I mean, Simu was actually on my back.
Ooh, my favorite stunt memory. The very first fight scene I did with Simu. I did punch him in the face. That's why I love it. I didn't have any martial arts background, and even though we practiced for 1,000 times, I was still nervous. But Simu, he encouraged me, and he said, "It's okay, it's fine, just go for it, you can't hurt me." So, well, I just got into my character, and I just punched him in the face, and the audience can see it in the film, really. It was an accident, I didn't mean to, but it felt good.
Well, hey, for me, commitment, that's what counts, right? So, now listen, there are so many incredible moments in this film, but what are you most excited for fans to see?
The action in this movie is really unique. There's action sequences that you can describe as beautiful and elegant and emotional, and those are adjectives I typically am not able to use to describe an action movie.
I'm most excited for them to, first of all, have fun back in the theater, and also to see things that maybe they recognize in their own selves or their own lives, and if they don't, it's a cool glimpse of this other world.
I'm so excited for fans to be able to see our incredible action sequences. We've got so many in this movie, and the way I think of it, it's almost like an album, and it's a good band. So not every song sounds exactly the same. Some are really fast-paced and frenetic and chaotic, and some are very slow, and some are almost like love songs in a way. And I just think it all blends together in this perfect experience, and hopefully that's what audiences will get when they watch our movie.
Well, thank you all so much for joining me. It was an absolute pleasure. And all of you out there, don't miss Marvel Studios' Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings in theaters September 3rd.
Who are you?
The story of Shang-Chi was actually very personal. I wanted to look at what a superhero could be what it would mean to me to be able to add not only one character, Shang-Chi, but to add a whole cornucopia of Asian faces that are representing something I've never really seen before.
What happened to your shirt?
I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would be here. I was pretty much the biggest Marvel fan that you could possibly imagine. To be the first lead Asian superhero in the MCU, this is every kid's dream. For many of us who grew up in the West, whose parents immigrated, we never really saw ourselves on screen meaningfully. Shang-Chi will be an important piece of that conversation.
I'm Chinese American. I was raised here. I was interested in exploring what that story could be like. It's an amazing opportunity to write a little bit more of my experience.
Everyone on this movie, they care about the story, whether it's the language, the symbology, everything was done with care, with research.
We all bonded because it's just such an important film.
You were meant for greatness.
Every time I talk to my parents, they always lead with the same question. Did you work with Tony Leung today? And did you work with Michelle Yeoh today? Tony and Michelle are as legendary as you can get.
You are a product of all who came before you, the good and the bad. Every Marvel superhero has their own story, and everyone is so different. When your storytelling is good, it transcends the culture, because at the end of the day, we're telling a story about love, about family.
I hope this movie is something that anybody will feel connected to.
It's time to show them who I really am.